Decisions, decisions, decisions. Which one to take out today? I think the right answer is all three. It's a beautiful day. So what you see here is all of the current RS cars from Porsche for sale today, in production today, right? You've got the GT3 RS, the King, and you have the GT4 RS, which I have several friends that say that's their favorite car, and we could talk about why. And then we have the Spyder RS, which a lot of people see as their favorite car for great reasons as well. I don't want to make this a long vid, but I'll give you my high-level thoughts on each car. Let's start with, let's just go over here and work our way across. GT4 RS. What makes this special? Well, Porsche knew that they were going to be capping off the Cayman, and the Boxster line for that matter. And they're wrapping up production in October. I think all the orders are in, builds are frozen, and they're just finishing production. Today is August 1st as I record this. I'm not sure when I'll upload it. But within a couple of months, Porsche will no longer be producing these cars. And they'll be gone forever, at least in gas form, and then going electric. And they haven't backed off from that. Even at a high level, Porsche said kind of backed off on the electric thing in some of their statements and their wording, kind of their tone. Like they might look more at hybrid or prolonging gas a little bit. But they haven't about-faced, at least publicly, on going all electric on the Boxsters and the Caymans. So that's still set to happen. And whether they take like a 1-year hiatus and you don't see a 2027 model, or a 2026 model, I should say, they're wrapping up 25s. And then you see a 27 in electric, who knows? Maybe you guys have heard some rumors I haven't seen. What makes this car special is they decided to pull out kind of all the stops, They put the GT3 engine in. It's a mid-engine. I call this a 991, a mid-engine 991 GT3 with a 992 GT3 engine. So what do I mean by the 991 part? Well, the front suspension is used from the 991 Gen GT3. And I've read somewhere they say GT3 RS, some differences, but it's basically a suspension. That technology comes from the 991 GT3 Gen. But the engine is a 992 GT3 engine. They just rotated 180 degrees to make it fit mid-engine, a little longer exhaust. This puppy puts out, 493 horsepower, 9 horsepower less than the GT3, which is at 502. This baby's at 518. Now, if you've been watching my videos, I had a GT3. I had the new 992 GT3. Sold it because I got allocation on a .2. So my .2 is not here yet. Actually, I have an update, but I'm not going to share it in this video. And then that engine still puts out 502. It put out 346 pound-feet on the .1 GT3. But now the .2 GT3, I noticed, just because I'm a geek and I'm looking at the site, it puts out the same torque as this, is 331. So it lost 15 pound-feet of torque. They lowered the gearing. This has lower gearing. You can fill it, pull. So some similarities there. But it maintained 502 horsepower. This is 493 horsepower, 331 pound-feet. It's got the same exact engine as the GT3, rotated 180 degrees. This is also the same engine, except I think they tuned something a little different, and they use different components. I think it's in the pistons or some of the rods. There's some titanium or some material they use a little different. And a little bit of tuning. So this puts out 16 more horsepower than the GT3. The .1 and the .2 GT3s both have 502 horsepower. This puts out 518, 342 pound-feet. 4 pound-feet less than the 992.1 GT3. And if you got a new window sticker, if you got an early one of these, I got one of the first, right? So if you are watching and you got one of the early 992 GT3 RSs and you're wondering why you got a new window sticker in the mail after you bought it, it's because of me. Like it went through the Germans, they didn't catch it. It went through PCNA, Porsche Cars North America, and nobody caught it, but I'm kind of a geek. So when I walked up to this car, I ordered this, I spec'd it, I got it brand new. First thing I saw when I looked at the window sticker, upper left-hand corner, was that it said 346 pound-feet. I knew the 3RS has more horsepower at 518, but it has 4 pound-feet less than the GT3. It should have said 342. It said 346. I said, there's an error. My sales guy's like, no big deal. I'm like, it's a big deal because, first of all, it's wrong. We don't get it wrong, especially the Germans. And especially if you're going to get it wrong, you don't overstate it. If it has 342, you say 346. It's false advertising. If it has 346, you say 342. That's not a big deal. I mean, it's still a mistake, right? So then I told the general manager, he's like, oh, that's kind of a big deal. Then I told the owner, and he's like, holy shit. Then I had lunch with the CEO of Porsche Motorsport Racing, at a 992 GT3 Cup, and he freaked out. And within 2 business days, overnighted a FedEx to me with a new window sticker. So I actually have 2 window stickers on this car, one that's wrong, one that's right. It's like a collector's item. So if you got one, that's because of me. So this car is special because Porsche's like, we're going to go out with a bang. A lot of enthusiasts didn't think they'd build this car. A lot of people say the only thing to make it better is if they offered a manual. Haven't offered a manual in RS car since 2011 with the 997.2 GT3 RS. I would have loved that car. Had one at 160 about 4 or 5 years ago. Now they're over 300 grand. Should have bought it. Oh well. This car is amazing. Low gearing, really loud, racer boy feel inside. It's a little smaller. It's not as much lighter as you would think given the size. They put more effort into making the bigger car lighter. They put more money into the GT3, more carbon fiber, more components. Same with the GT3 RS to try to make it. So given the size, you'd think it was even lighter, but it's still light. It's got Visoc package, magnesium wheels. I checked every box, carbon fiber, exposed hood, etc., etc. This has it, axle lift, you name it, bows, etc. I delete the Sirius XM antennas. Who cares? You want to listen to the engine, not the radio, and it just looks kind of dumb. So yeah, it's a very special car. They went out with a bang. What can I say? I love this car. Racer boy analog look and feel. You know, you got all the kind of old school, more analog. You got one little digital display out of those 3 in the cluster, but the other 2 are analog. And then on my 3RS, you know, you have the analog tack. You can see it there. But everything else is digital. Now, I had that also on my GT3. It's the only thing I wish the .2 GT3 had, and a lot of us purists wish, but they finally ditched the analog tack on the .2 GT3. They will as well as on the .2 GT3 RS when it's announced. It's not out yet. When it's out, I may get it. That's now digital, but that's okay. Enough on this car. This car is fantastic. It feels really balanced with the mid-engine. I almost argue that I like the suspension better because they upgraded a double wishbone suspension on the .2 GT3 RS and the .2, well, I shouldn't say that. On the 992 GT3 RS and on the 992 GT3, the entire generation, not .2, .1 even. Those have double wishbone in the front for the first time. It's more refined, slicker, but I'd almost argue that I kind of like this one because you get a little more feedback, a little more feel. It also has lower gearing. It's jumpy. It feels quicker and it's louder, so you feel more engaged. You feel like it's faster even though it's slower. This is just so slick at what it does in delivery with the suspension. The sound is more of that smooth, velvety race car sound. The delivery of the power, the gearing. You don't feel like almost in some ways you're going as fast in this car because it does it so effortlessly, but you are going quicker. You're going around those turns quicker. This is more of an engaging. So if you don't care about tenths of a second and stuff, this is a damn engaging car, amazing car for the track. And of course, this is the king. Need I say more about this? I don't know, you know, it's just the king, right? It's got crazy amount of downforce. It's got a really refined front suspension. It's amazing. It's longer. It's got a wider track. So it is rear engine, but it's less rear engine than it used to be because as they lengthen the car, you get the center of mass closer and closer to the rear axle. I mean, the definition of a mid-engine, rear engine, front engine is where is it in relation to the axle? So a rear engine is the entire engine doesn't have to be behind the rear axle, just the center of mass, right? And so it's closer than it ever has been. Whereas the center of the mass of this engine, even though some of it hangs over the rear axle, the center of mass falls in front of the rear axle and behind the front axle. Therefore, it's a mid-engine. Front engine car, center of mass falls in front of the front axle. Otherwise, they would be a rear engine car too, right? Even if they were just behind the front axle, mid-engine, right? So this is the king. It's slick. They all get a lot of attention, but the amount of attention this car gets is on another level. I've got satin neodyme wheels, whereas on these two, I have white gold magnesium wheels, right? These are basically the same spec car. This is my second GT4 RS, by the way. I did European delivery on this in October. The only thing I did different on this one than my first one is I did yellow seat belts and a race tech steering wheel instead of leather. I just love the spec. This almighty Spyder RS is essentially this car, but it's a few millimeters higher stance. The suspension is not as stiff. It's very stiff, very precise. Don't get me wrong, just not quite as stiff and precise as this car. So the suspension has those kind of a couple of differences. Obviously, it has less downforce because it doesn't have a wing, but it does have a big ducktail, gets some downforce. And because it gets less downforce in the back, you make a smaller splitter in the front, so you get a little less downforce in the front, which is needed to balance it out. Otherwise, it'll be out of whack and be unstable, right? But like the hood, the vents, all these things, the intakes, everything, sound, the gearing, stuff like that. Now, those are all the same platform, same engine. So other than like the suspension and downforce, you just don't get a hard top. Other than that, this is basically a convertible GT4 RS, or I should say open top or Spyder GT4 RS. The intakes take the same number of cubic feet of air per minute, second, however you want to measure it. They take the same volumes at the same rate because these cars have the same output, 493 pound-feet, 493 horsepower, 331 pound-feet. I'm talking fast because I'm in a hurry, and some people just don't want to listen forever. And if I'm talking too fast for you, put it at 0.5 or 0.75x. I'm a fast talker. Got a lot going on. Got to move. One thing I did different on this car is I did these lighter inserts in the seats. Fantastic. And props to my sales guy for pushing me to do that. It's kind of like, I don't know, but I'm glad I did it. I don't have it in these cars. These cars are more black seats, which I like too. But actually in this car, it works. It looks nice. Look at that spec. It's perfect. A lot of carbon fiber. It's just, let me get yellow seatbelts again. And I didn't do yellow seatbelts on my first GT3, which I don't have momentarily, my Dot 2. But I think I did on my second. Well, anyway, you guys will. You'll see what's up. It'll all be revealed. What I like about the 4RS and the Spyder RS is you get a trunk and a frunk because it's rear engine. So a lot of storage space. You could easily store like a carry-on bag and a small to medium-sized backpack in each compartment. But you couldn't do an oversized bag in either one. But you could easily do carry-on size, like no problem. Plenty of space for a full carry-on size, up to, the full spec. This car's fantastic. Sounds loud, lower gearing, really engaging. I say this is my car for going through the countryside on a nice day or going to a winery. This would be, I think this is like a ultimate fun track toy. And of course, this is the king. This is like the king for track times, and it's fun. I would say this is almost the best track one for just pure fun, not worrying. Now, track times are amazing, but it's not going to be as good as this, right? But the engagement, the fun factor, hard to beat. For those of you who complain about the hardtop, you obviously don't own one, complain about the roof not being automatic. Get a minivan, get a regular Spyder. You want an RS car, you're going to save 40 pounds. And guess what? I've been caught in the rain on this once. It started to drizzle. Like less than 3 minutes, 2.5 minutes. I had the thing open. I threw the roof on. So you just take it out of here. You put it in these little attachments and you just unravel it and it's protected. The next minute, you're just ratcheting it down on a couple things, right? It's really not an issue. And by the way, if it's raining or something, you're not going to take this car out anyway. I've gone months without putting up the top. So don't complain about the fact that it's a manual. It's a manual top. Remove and replace for a reason. And no, it doesn't take 15 minutes. And no, it doesn't take a NASA handbook to do it. It's simple. Once you do it a couple times, no big deal. It's quick. And like I said, I don't put it up for months. I drive this car when the weather's good. But I have actually been caught in a drizzle, and it was when it was new. And like I'd only done it a couple times. I still did it within a couple minutes. Like it was not an issue at all. So, not an issue. That's it. These are all of the current RS cars from Porsche. Spyder RS, GT3 RS, GT4 RS, and I am just waiting for them to announce the GT2 RS. That will be a beast. Now, it won't rev to 9,000. It won't be naturally aspirated, but it will have a lot more power than this. It'll have at least as much downforce, if not more. I'm sure there'll be some suspension tweaks. It will be the new king of the ring, king of the track. But there's something special about this car too, revving to 9,000, right amount of power, etc. This could be my fave between those two. I don't know, but I plan to get the GT2 RS when it comes out, and I may have some other news to share shortly, but I'm going to keep you on your toes for that. And I got to get this toy out. And my BMW M3 is in the shop right now. I track that as well. It's a manual. It's an E90 four-door gen E90, and so it's the V8 naturally aspirated, revs to like 8,200, 8,250, manual transmission, 414 horsepower. It's the right amount of car for a lot of people. It's enough car for me. Unfortunately, these cars make it feel a little slow, but it's still a lot of fun, and I don't worry about that car. You know, it's not quite a level of these cars, so I could just take it anywhere, take it downtown, park it, not even look over my shoulder as I walk away. I'm not worried about it. But as far as this other BMW toy mine, I need to get it out. And my other adventure bike is now feeling kicked to the side because of this one. But I figure if a buddy wants to join me on an adventure ride for the amount of money I get for my Triumph 1200 XCA Tire Explorer, I'll just keep it. And then my fully decked out Suzuki DR650, it's got more mods in it than it cost. And I can do a video on that if anybody cares, but it's got a lot of crazy mods, suspension, name it, blah, 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 blah. It's crazy bike. But I travel okay amount, got a lot of cars, a lot of toys, and I'd like to spend a little more time on my bikes as well. So hopefully that'll happen soon. But I just wanted to I had my SUV out of the garage right now. Usually like I'll have my SUV in this spot, and then I have this lift, so I usually double up cars here. But I kind of had them all laid out, and I thought, oh, quick video. So there you go. Hope you guys are having a great summer. And as always, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, comments, leave them below, and I'm pretty good about responding. So thank you again. Let me get you one more look from the back, and I'll sign off. I guess I'm too lazy to walk over there. All right, fine. Fine. There you go. And then there you go. It's not the best looks, but I'll give you something. And then there you go. Thanks for watching.